Okay, this is going to be the last video I'm going to make about the new tackle that has been released for 2026 that I found interesting. And of course, this video is about the latest iteration of the Shimano Jackall Poison Glorious rods. Now, in case you didn't know, the Poison Glorious was the first Poison rod lineup. It came out before the Poison Ultima, and it came out before the Poison ADRENA. Now, I actually remember the hype about these rods when they were introduced back in 2011. And it was a big deal because this was the first time that Shimano Japan collaborated with another company to make tackle. And of course, that other company was Jackall. So they basically mixed Shimano's rod technology with Jackall's styling and actions and tapers to come out with the first Poison Glorious series of rods. Now, since then, the Poison Glorious has been updated 3 times, including these new 2026 models. Now, I actually have one of the original first generation Poison Glorious rods. It's the 6'9" medium heavy Vanquish model. Now, I bought this rod well over 10 years ago, but if I recall, I paid about $500 total to import that rod. Now, was it worth $500? Well, my answer is yes and no. It does have the looks, the feel, and the build quality of a $500 rod, but I was hugely disappointed in the sensitivity, or I should say lack of sensitivity. I've had sub $150 rods that were more sensitive. The X-Pride rods, which cost almost half as much, were noticeably more sensitive. And forget about comparing it with the king of sensitivity, which of course is the LOOMIS NRX, which was similarly priced at the time, but was levels higher in sensitivity and came with a much better warranty. So now we are on the 4th iteration of the Poison Glorious, and they've actually done a couple of things to this new model that got my attention. Now, first of all, they went with the open-ended butt section like the current Poison ADRENAs, but the end cap looks much better. And then, shockingly, they decided to go back to cork for the grips. Now, this is a good thing in my opinion, and I'll explain why later after you guys watch these quick promotional videos from both Shimano and Jackall. So we're going to end this video off by checking out the new Poison Glorious rods in more detail, including why I'm glad they're going back to cork handles. So of course that means we're at Shimano Japan's webpage. Go to rod. Go to bus, which is a bad translation of bass. And then, as you can see, we have 2 options. We have your Shimano only bass rods, and then the Jackall and Shimano collaboration rods, which of course that's what we're looking for. And then we have the new Poison Glorious. All right. So I'm just gonna quickly skim over this part right here. It says, "It is a glorious thing to crown. Sensibility and technology are once again united through innovative technology. The sync of Jackall sensibility and Shimano technology. What is required in the extreme world of tournament fishing? Poison Glorious has evolved into its 4th generation by exploring the answer, centered on optimizing rod action using UBD, ultimate blanks design. It adapts to modern fishing techniques with cutting-edge technology. The symbol of this 4th generation is fusion grip technology. The open-end carbon monocoque grip is coated with a thin cork, providing a comfortable grip that fits in the palm of your hand, along with light and precise operability and exceptional sensitivity with the participation of the new experts in the development, blah, blah, blah. All right, so they kind of go over some of the new technology. Now, I hope that they are not lying about the sensitivity of this rod. So, of course, there's the promo videos. And what is UBD? Does this mean that they are getting all new blanks? But right here, you can definitely see Shimano showing us all the generations of the Poison Glorious. The collaboration, I guess, started in 2010. The first lineup of rods came out in 2011, which is what I have. And personally, I still think these are the best looking Poison Glorious rods. Then you can see in 2016, they went with the carbon monocoque butt section, but keeping the cork grip. 2021, they went with an all carbon monocoque handle. And then in 2026, looks like they've returned to cork. So let's investigate a little bit more. All right, so carbon monocoque is one of the technologies featured on this new Poison Glorious. And wow, there's a lot of marketing crap on this page, but if you look right here, they're listing carbon monocoque as one of the features of this rod. But how can it be carbon monocoque when the handles are cork? So it says a material integrated grip that combines sharp sensitivity with slip resistance and durability. So basically what they've done was they've taken a very thin layer of cork and overlaid it on top of the carbon monocoque. And to me, that is a plus. And the reason that's a plus is because I actually have, I think the second generation Poison ADRENA, the 7'2" heavy that has a full carbon monocoque handle, and I will never ever fish that rod in the summer. And that's because I was fishing it one summer, and of course where I live is very hot and humid, so I'm sweating. And I remember pulling out a bag of plastics that of course was coated in oil, and it got mixed with my sweat and it got all over the handle. And I remember distinctly the reel I was using was the previous generation Scorpion MGL that has that reddish maroon color, and it has like a glossy finish. So of course the sweat and oil got all over the reel too, and I could not get a firm grip on the rod and reel combo. I kept having to readjust my grip like literally every 30 seconds. And this is even with Shimano making the carbon monocoque have, I guess, some kind of a soft touch coating where your hand would be for grip. It didn't work. So that put me off of using that rod and possibly getting any other full carbon monocoque grip Shimanos, or at least fishing them during the summer or where it's hot, where I'm sweating. So I think Shimano Japan finally realized that was an issue, and they are using a thin layer of cork to give us grip. Now, why cork instead of EVA? Well, the only thing I can tell you is this. The two most sensitive rods that I have are the first generation G LOOMIS NRX and the Shimano X Pride, and both of them use cork for the handles. All right, so You can definitely see the open-ended butt section that is supposed to enhance sensitivity, but has the really nice metal Poison Glorious butt cap. X guides using titanium. Wow. And one more thing we're going to check is I want to check what this UBD means. Alright, so spiral core, that's old technology. X guide, that's old technology. Fusion grip technology, that's new. Carbon monocoque, old. High power X wrap, old. UBD. It says this design technology carefully selects the desired material from over 100 different types and places it in the appropriate position in each section of the tip, belly, and butt. This eliminates unnecessary material from the blank, achieving the ideal action. This structure reduces weight while maintaining strength and power. So very, very interesting. So it looks like they may be using a different blank material and then strategically making it thinner or thicker in certain spots. So this has got me really interested in this new Poison Glorious. But the thing is, I don't know if these are going to be coming to America, but don't be surprised if they do, because, you know, they brought over the Poison ADRENA, and then shockingly they brought over the mega dollar Poison Ultimas. But if they do bring these to America, I hope they give us the American lengths and tapers, because I want fast and ultra fast tapers, not, you know, regular fast tapers like they have in Japan. So kind of looking at the current lineup they're going to be offering, 6'11", extra fast. That looks interesting. Yeah, nothing in the bait finesse category that I would want. They're kind of too short. But yeah, over in Japan, extra fast actions are very rare. But anyway, if they do decide to bring these over to America, they're probably going to be at least $600 to $700. But if you wanted to order one from Japan, you're looking at 62,000 to 64,000 yen. With shipping, you're probably looking at, once again, around $500. So, alright guys, to end this video off, I just want to say, for those of you who are still here, LEWS is going to be coming back to the channel. And I have a LEWS reel coming in. And we're definitely going to be deep diving into it, because it's a reel that a lot of you guys were asking about. Alright guys, thanks a lot.